There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit,
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now.
Yo, everybody, welcome to The Psychic and the Doc. I am here with my esteemed colleague, Mark Anthony, and we have got a topic for you tonight. And it is a great topic, and you're going to hear us talk about it throughout. It is a topic that, you know, we've said this in many ways. You are stronger than you think. That's our topic tonight.
Yep.
And if you look at the history of Mark Anthony, psychic lawyer, look, I mean, let's just talk about it. Every time I turn around, somebody's given Mark a new name. You know, whether it's there's a new name. You're this explorer. You are so many things. But here's the thing: you're a lawyer. Yes. And you know, one of the things I want to say about that and about the show tonight is we are talking about you are stronger than you think. Now, I know that those of you go to law school. Just saying. I think there are some professions where you really are in the thick of it. It's clearly doctors. I mean, you're in the thick of it. You are doing stuff that you never thought you'd do. But to become a lawyer, you are in that of it. And what I mean by that is the intellectual property that you've got to look at, and then look at who you are as an individual to take what you've learned out into the world. Stronger is an understatement. And, you know, those of us, I'll talk about myself. I'll talk about myself like self. Self studied psychology because she knew her life was totally messed up and didn't understand it. So I went on a pathway to understand that, to really have a deep concern for it. But I will tell you that those folks like you all out there, you don't have to study this. You are students of life. Yes. Right, Mark? Students of life.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And for the listeners who may not be familiar, Dr. Pat is the very epitome of someone who has proven and demonstrates to us every day that you are stronger than you think. Dr. Pat went through a very difficult childhood, losing her mother and her stepmother, coping with suicide, deaths in the family. She was homeless in New York City. And on paper, that's a recipe for disaster. She could have easily turned into a heroin addict and not been here. But going through all of those personal traumas, those disasters, those catastrophes, she found within herself this inner strength, which led to becoming a behavioral psychologist, world-renowned, founder of the Transformation Network, star of the Dr. Pat Show for over 20 years, award-winning show, and as head of the Transformation Network, she was the impetus for us putting this show together, The Psychic and the Doc. And this is somebody that I've been privileged to know and now work with on this show, who basically didn't have two pennies to rub together at one point. So the thing is, yeah, you know, you can find, and what a lot of people don't know about me, and I've never really mentioned this before on air. There was a period in my life where I was homeless for about 6 months. I lived in a '77 Dodge van. Okay, it had no air conditioning, it had a mattress in there. And it was like right after I graduated college, but about a year before I went to law school. And I graduated college when I was 19, but there were things going on in my life and financially where I wasn't able to have a place to live. And through that whole time, I never thought or surrendered to the idea that I'm just going to be homeless. You know, when people see that you're a lawyer, they go, oh, well, you're rich and this and that. Let me tell you something. When I graduated law school, and I bet it was the same thing, Dr. Pat, when you graduated with your PhD, nobody handed me a trust fund.
No.
I know everybody, oh, these rich lawyers. It's like, yeah. And the thing is, I went to law school with kids, young people who on their birthday, their parents would give them a BMW, brand new BMW. All right. And I love my parents and they made a lot of sacrifices and I don't regret one thing, but that was not my family's situation. And the thing is, we are the product of our decisions. And sometimes those decisions have to be made to get us through the most difficult of times. As a lawyer, there's a lawsuit, a criminal trial that I have to mention. And in 1431, on this day, May 30th, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake.
Yeah.
And Joan of Arc is of particular significance in many ways.
Yeah. To both of us, both you and I.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was a psychic. She was a medium. She was most likely what is known as a channeler because she said she heard the voices of Saint Margaret, Saint Catherine, and Saint Michael, and that they guided this peasant girl, this teenage girl, to lead the French army to drive the English out of France and bring the 100 Years' War to an end. Okay, now this would have been passed off as pure mythology had there not been thousands of pages of court documents and transcripts of her trial. And I've got a book that has some of the testimony in there. And this is one of the great injustices of all times because she was charged with so many things, but it's because of her spiritual abilities she was horribly punished. I got one other thing I want to bring up.
Yeah.
On Monday, June 3rd, there's going to be a very rare planetary alignment. 6 planets, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, Mars, Neptune, and Saturn will
Yeah.
be in alignment. And according to astrologers, this means this is an omen of big changes coming.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the thing is, Dr. Pat, change can be positive or not so positive.
Yeah. When these strange bedfellows or whatever you want to call them, kissing cousins, let's call them whatever that is, when they line up, there's a couple of powerhouses in there. We know with Jupiter, OMG, it's abundance, it's prosperity, but we also know Saturn. What is that painting? Saturn devours its children. And so it'll be interesting. I'm trying to get Susan Miller on my show to see if she'll talk about it. But it is a big energy, and it's an energy that we get to interpret for ourselves. Now, we have got a lot of you on the phones, but I want to say a couple of things. I mentioned this about Mama Doris, growing up with a mama. And the mama used to tell all of us girls, and then my brother, but most of us girls, there's 10 years difference between myself, Joyce, and Doris, and my brother. It's 10 years difference. So he didn't get the benefit of all this. I'm not actually sure what my brother got the benefit of, but she would, out of her mouth, it would just, I had to be marked once a week. Girls, if it don't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. And thank you, Kelly Clarkson. Somebody asked me who sang that song. Kelly sang that song. It's called Stronger. And it is a powerhouse song. And this is what the theme tonight is. It's about stronger because we believe in you. That's why Mark and I do this show. It's because you all are asking to have a voice and to get assistance in whatever way you can to maybe get through the next day, maybe the next minute, maybe the next hour. because I know for me, I've needed that some days. And Mark, you know that too.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Let's take a really short break. And when we come back, we are going to the phones. Got a couple of New Yorkers here. It's going to be fun. We'll be right back.
Psychic in the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer. I'm the psychic, and I'm here with my esteemed colleague, the amazing and insightful Dr. Pat Baccili. And this is the Psychic in the Doc, and this show's theme, you are stronger than you think. And now we're going to be taking some calls from listeners. So, Dr. Pat, what do you say we go to the phone?
Do it. I know we've got a caller from last week. We should bring him right up, right?
Yeah, I think we were running out of time, and we told Nelson from Hawaii to call back
Yeah.
in. So, Miss Emily, let's bring Nelson up.
Okay, Nelson from Hawaii, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Hi,
there,
Nelson.
Nelson. Hey, how are you?
Okay.
All right, Nelson, tell us where we left off last week.
Last week I had called regarding a previous call I made a couple of years ago because I have been really depressed and wanting to just take my life because
Right.
my dog, who was my comfort animal, which was like my son, died, and then the following year my father died of COVID. So I felt,
geez.
because I was their caregiver, I felt like a failure, and I just wanted to go because I couldn't take it anymore. But Dr. Pat told me to go seek a grief therapy group, and which I did. Ironically, it was in Canada because that's the only one I could find that was like Zoom meetings because I don't have a car. And I am so glad I followed Dr. Pat's advice because things got better. And now I'm in a situation where I adopted a new dog from the shelter, and he's displaying all the same characteristics and behaviors, and he has a spot on the top of his head where I had kissed the previous dog at the animal hospital before I left him for the last time. And now I'm wondering if this dog is actually the return, because 2 years ago this dog showed up on surveillance cameras, and it took photos of him from the other side. So I know he has been trying to come back to me. So I'm just wondering if this is the dog that tried to come back. And yeah, so that's the situation now. And I'm so glad. I just want to say a thank you also to Angela Clements, my support group host, that has helped me to deal with my depression. And yeah, that's my new hope. And the ironic thing is, now I'm finding that I'm getting messages from the other side for other people within my support group. And I don't understand why I'm getting these messages. And some of them are so specific, like the color of their favorite clothes, that kind of thing. But I don't consider myself a medium, but I don't know why these are coming to me. Anyway, that's not my new status.
Okay. Well, Nelson, let's start out let's see what Mark brings forward, especially about the dog. And thank you so much. And thank you so much for thanking Angela. We do not thank support group people enough.
Exactly. Mark. Yes. Excuse me. Nelson, I'm getting a male energy coming through, which is a human spirit. And I do believe this is your father's spirit. And the reason I'm saying that is the indicators related to his passing are consistent with lung disease. I got this headache. Or he had a headache that just would not stop. And did your father have some issues with his fingers or hands prior to passing? Now, obviously, when somebody's really sick with COVID, they're not moving around a lot. But I'm getting this strange sensation, numbness, almost like I can't feel the tips of my fingers. Do you recall anything with your dad and his hands prior to passing?
Oh, he never complained about anything because he rarely spoke to us. But yes, he was dealing with probably arthritis and gout.
Okay. Okay.
He's
Hold on,
mhm.
hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to get that because see, if I just say, oh, there's a man coming through that feels like he died from COVID, anybody could say that. But see, your dad's working with me and giving me stuff about his fingers. He was coping with arthritis, so that's what that is. So now we know we got your dad here, and your dad said that this new dog in your life is not the reincarnated dog that you had before, but is very, very similar. And it's because of your heart and your compassion. This dog behaves very much like the previous dog because this dog, the new one that you have, I feel that there was some type of abandonment and abuse. Now, obviously, it was this animal was a rescue, but the thing is, this dog feels very drawn to you because you give out a very compassionate feel. And we were talking earlier about Saint Joan of Arc. One of the saints I've always admired was Saint Francis of Assisi, who's the patron saint of animals. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm getting images of him and what it is. Animals are a different form of intelligence. But dogs in particular are very sensitive to frequency and vibration. And the reason I'm getting the St. Francis imagery is because you project that type of vibration. Supposedly, St. Francis was able to tame even a wolf. Birds and other animals, deer, were drawn to him because they didn't feel threatened or afraid. They felt safe with him. So the reason this dog is in your life is as much for the dog as it is for you. Is this animal feels safe around you and you feel a sense of nurture and comfort. The reason that you're picking up on the spirits of people in your support group is for the very same reason, because of your compassion and you embrace your emotions. Spirit contact is an emotionally based activity, and so you are a wide open, like radio station. Okay, you're a wide open channel, and spirits are stepping forward for the very same reason, because in the support group, you show compassion, empathy, and sympathy for those around you. And the spirits that are coming forward are I don't want to say taking advantage, but they are working with you as a conduit to get their message through to their loved ones in spirit. And I'll wrap this up real quick, is because spirits are going to get a message through to you one way or the other. And when someone like you is around, they're going to take that opportunity. So I'll leave that, Nelson, with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Dr. Pat
Yes.
Baccili.
I have a
And I
message
also
for you,
want to thank my
Nelson.
dad. Hmm.
I have a message for you. I want you to hear what I'm going
Yes.
to say really carefully.
Hmm.
Those dogs need you as much as you need them. What I'm trying to say is you are filled with love. And while I know they're providing comfort for you, even the dogs that have transitioned, right? But I want you to know this, that your purpose is the connection to these dogs when it comes to them. They are your friends. You see what I'm saying? So while you may
Hmm.
think, Nelson, for a moment, that they are providing you with comfort, of course they are. But what your gift for them and to them is enormous. And by the way, this is not your last animal friend.
No.
Your
Hmm.
love is so overflowing. You see, that's why you need to stay on the planet.
Hmm.
It is very difficult to find people quite like that. And your animal friends know that, Mark, right? So I wanted to say that.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Nelson. You wanted to say something about your
Oh,
dad.
I just want to say I love you to my dad. Oh, and Mark, you're so spot on, because when I was growing up, animals would come to me and cats would become my pets out of nowhere, and dogs would seek
Yeah.
me out. So, yes, you're so right that they seek me out.
Well, You're a good man, Nelson, and animals are able to discern this, and apparently spirits as well.
Yeah.
So keep up the good
Yeah.
work,
Thank you,
and yeah,
Nelson.
God bless.
Aloha, right?
Thank you.
Nelson.
Aloha,
Aloha.
mahalo.
Nelson, let me share this last thing with you. I'm a girl from the Bronx. You know where the Bronx is in New York, right? I was
Yes.
introduced to the beautiful islands, the culture and the nature of Hawaii. And I would say that had to be in like 1990, I want to say 6 or 7. And my life has never
Mm-hmm.
been the same. And I got to meet people of that are their royalty. One of my friends taught Kamehameha language, Hawaiian language at the school for 30 years. And I have to tell you, it is hard to describe what that energy did to help me hold on to my own life and move forward in the way I have. And I wanted to mention to you that is what you bring to the table for most of us. It is that power and gentleness all in your persona. So thank you for being you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I have got to go to the islands. I have got to go, Mark.
Oh,
I
definitely.
have got to go very soon. Okay, Emily, who do we have next?
Okay, up next, we're going to go to Donna over in New York.
Let's do it. We got a bunch of people. It's great.
Okay, Donna, you are live.
Hi, Donna. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
How are you?
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Pat and Mark, for taking my call. I really
Anytime.
appreciate it.
How can we help you today?
I was hoping to connect with my husband.
Okay, let's see. All right, male energy coming in. I don't mean to crack up, but he's rubbing his face and he's showing like a heavy 5 o'clock shadow. Did your husband not like to shave, or did he skip shaving, or have a heavy beard?
He had a heavy beard. Very
had a heavy- all
when he
right.
passed.
Yeah, so he's coming in like with the heavy beard. And the funny thing is, I'm smelling an aftershave, like an aqua velva, but I don't think he likes stuff like that.
No. No.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, none of
I-
that for me. Yeah, go ahead.
He liked this particular Aramis fragrance, which they discontinued. So it was always hard to, find something that he liked because he didn't like change very much.
Okay, now he's switching tracks again. I know you're from New York, but now he's. Do you ever been to Vegas on Fremont Street and see the big neon sign of the cowboy with the lasso?
Well, we've never been past the airport in Vegas, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, now he's showing me that, and he is portraying himself dressed up with the 10-gallon hat. He's wearing a cowboy, like, he's got the handkerchief around his neck and the gingham shirt, and he's doing this lasso thing, and he's going, "I'm lassoing you, baby." And look, I don't give weird messages like that unless I get it, but there is this cowboy thing that he is going on and on about. Does that make sense to you in any way?
I don't know.
Hold on. If I say cowboys, what does that mean to you? And lasso, what does that mean to you?
My uncle.
Why do you say that?
My uncle, because my uncle was this huge John Wayne fan, and whenever we went over there, no matter what time of day it was, he was always able to find a Western on TV all the time.
Perfect. And your uncle's in spirit, so guess who your husband is with? That's one of the spirits that he's with. And your husband said, "Save some artichokes for me. Save some artichokes for me." Oh, that sounds like a yes. Sorry, in what way?
Christmas Eve, stuffed artichokes.
Boom. I mean, I can taste them, and they're nice and tender, and they're stuffed. So he wants you to know he is totally at peace. He is also with you quite a bit. And the reason he brought up the aqua velva, that scent, I get this, what he's telling me is you will smell fragrances and odors that are associated with him, but there's no source for it. Like you'll get a whiff of something and it reminds you, it makes you think of him. And the other one I'm getting is I'm hearing a wave hitting the beach, like, like when a little wave hits the beach, and I'm smelling the salt spray, the ocean, and I'm feeling the water and the sand between my toes. So he's bringing up this really nice beach imagery. Anything there makes sense?
Yeah, we have a condo in San Juan on the beach.
Perfect. And what about the scents, the fragrances, the scents? And the interesting thing about this, and he's getting a little bit personal, but he's maintaining decorum. It's like you catch a whiff of him. It's like his personal like smell, his odor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Sometimes out of nowhere, these memories will come up, very distinct, memories that we shared, and it's almost like I'm back in that time. It's just really strange.
Well, two things. I don't want to long because I want to get to Dr. Pat. But this is what you're experiencing is what I've termed frequency beacons. And it's where a spirit will emit an electromagnetic impulse to you, and you'll catch a whiff of something. And like obviously when you're smelling him and he's not there, well, he is there. And what it is, they're able to affect the part of your brain that controls the olfactory sense, which happens to be located next to the long-term memory part of your brain. And so spirits emit these frequency beacons. You get that smell, it brings you back to a happy memory, a loving memory, an event. And that's how he's reaching out and saying, I'm around you and I love you. Dr. Pat, I know you got something.
I do. I have a question, Donna. It's great to connect with you, but I do want to ask you. You said you had a condo in the San Juans. Did you say that or did I make that up?
Yes. No. We still own it. Yeah.
What is going on with that? Because is there a reason you don't go to it or?
There's a bit of a problem with it in terms of the people that own the building.
Okay.
So I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
Well, you don't have to say a lot because usually when something like that comes up, there's usually something underneath it, especially when Mark shifts gears. You're a little stuck, aren't you?
Thinking, and I think Mark bringing that up at this time.
Yes.
I don't know if my husband is trying to tell me something about that. And the other thing that I just thought of when Mark said about the Cowboys. And, now when I'm thinking, after I spoke with him, all of a sudden this picture came in my mind of him and his brother dressed up as cowboys.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And, without you sharing a lot on air, I do want you to take to heart. I mean, I could have picked anything out of this, but I do pick this condo out of it for some reason. If you're avoiding a situation with it, I would invite you to not do that much longer. If you're trying to solve it on your own, I invite you not to solve it on your own much longer. And I don't want to talk about it on air with you. If you need legal help, attorney help, when you mentioned the San Juans, are you talking about Washington State or is that a different San Juan island?
No, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, gotcha. Because we got those islands over here. But I'm just saying to you, whatever that is, when it comes up in a reading like this, there's some kind of action, but I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out because I think you know what it is and you don't have to talk about it on air, okay?
I do.
Yeah, no, you don't have to talk about it on air. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, you know what to do. Okay, Okay. So
I know what you're
from
talking
me
about.
to you, especially before this June alignment thing, isn't that what you said, Mark?
Yes.
You need to get on that before the alignment, because when the alignment happens, you want the power of Jupiter on your side. And if it has anything to do with communication, you want Mercury on your side. And these peeps are going to be, these planets going to be lined up, okay?
So you're saying before Monday
I'm saying
or on
take
Monday?
some kind of action.
Contact an attorney.
What was the
Fine,
date you used, Mark? What was the date for the
It's
alignment?
June 3rd. It's
June
Monday.
3rd,
So
June 3rd.
contact somebody tomorrow.
Take an
Get the
action.
wheels in motion.
Yeah. You don't have to solve it all, but get aligned. Get the message? Get aligned. Okay. Thank you. That's a message for all of us right there. Donna, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you.
I'd say let's keep going, don't
Keep
you
it
think?
rolling.
All right.
Emily, who do we have next?
Up next, we have Esther from Utah. Esther, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Esther. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. So I was also hoping to connect with my husband. I was recently widowed with 3 kids.
Okay, just hold off 1 minute. Let's not give Mark too much information.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do on his own.
Okay.
Mark.
Thank you for calling in, Esther. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Male energy coming through. Ow. Okay, when I say ow, spirits will give me physical sensations which are related to their causes of passing. And from the bottom of my rib cage down to my lower abdominal region, I'm feeling a tremendous amount of pain. I feel pains in the liver, which is the bottom of the rib cage on the right side. I'm feeling pains in the pancreas, which is on the bottom of the rib cage on the left side. Stomach, GI tract, intestines, GI tract, same thing. But I'm feeling tremendous amounts of pain, difficulty in his colon. Does any of this make sense related to your husband's cause or symptoms related to his passing?
Yeah. It was multiple organ failure.
Oh, organ failure. Okay, well that's pretty much where a lot of the main organs are. Okay, hold on. And he said, I heard you. I heard you. He's saying to me that prior to his physical transition, you said something, and he wants you to know, I heard you. I heard you. And were you there when he passed?
No, I wasn't. But
Hold
I was
on.
there before.
Hold on. You were there before? Okay. Did you say something to him and you weren't sure if he was able to hear you? Because he keeps saying, I heard you. I heard you. He keeps repeating this.
Yeah, I heard. I said many things, by his bed, many things, but I don't know what he's referring to. But I was talking to him. Yes.
Right. All right. Here's my question. Was he awake, incoherent, and responsive at that point?
No.
All right. There we go. Hold on. There we go. See, you're looking for the one specific thing. He appeared to or was incoherent, either heavily sedated, unconscious, possibly comatose. What he's telling you is he could hear you talking to him, and he wants you to know all the things that you said to him. Okay. And he's also telling me, and this, I know this sounds corny, but he's showing me, and it's a beautiful corny. He's showing me a perfect rose, and it's that red pink color. Like, it's not just like the typical red rose, and it's not the pink, it's that deep red pink color. And he keeps showing butterflies landing on the rose. Now, butterflies are very positive symbols, as are roses. And I'm smelling the rose, and I'm seeing this beautiful monarch butterfly, the ones that are orange with the black veins through their wings. Does the symbol of a rose, the scent of a rose, or an image of a butterfly, specifically a monarch butterfly, make sense to you in any way?
Well, those are two of my favorite things. Rose is my favorite flower, and the butterfly is just, I love them, you know?
Well, that's a yes.
That.
Okay, that's a
Yes.
yes. You see, I can't possibly know this about you, but he does. So I'm an evidential medium, and that means he's presenting to me pieces of evidence, because I can't just hear your voice and say, I think she likes roses and butterflies. Okay, there's no way I can do that. However, your husband's giving you this. He also wants you to know you were saying beautiful and loving things to him prior to his body expiring. And he wants you to know that he heard those. Okay. And he's very happy. He's very gratified. And now he's holding up a little gingerbread man, and I'm tasting gingerbread. I like gingerbread, but is there something about ginger? It could be a hair color, could be the spice, or actually gingerbread or ginger snaps. Something about gingerbread. It connected to you in any way. Hold on, before you. No. If I say ginger, go with what makes sense to you, because many times the spirits will give us things that don't necessarily apply to them. It applies to you or someone else close to you, and they have the reasons why they do this. Go ahead.
It applies to me. We always baked gingerbread cookies at Christmas time.
That's what I call bada bing, bada ginger cookies at Christmas time. So he is sending you beautiful messages of love. He also is telling you, I'm sorry I died. He said, but it's not like I had a choice in the matter. Okay, what was going on with him was excruciatingly painful. He certainly didn't want to leave you. He didn't want to leave the kids. He said, but unfortunately, his body, and he's not being flippant. He said, the spirit was willing, but my flesh was very weak. And he's paraphrasing that quote from scripture. My spirit was willing, but my flesh was weak. And he said, thank you for everything. I'll turn you over to Dr. Pat.
Yeah. How does that, can I ask you a question? How does that make you feel? How do those messages make you feel?
I feel a lot better. Thank you so much. Thank you. I adore you, both of you.
Thank you. Yeah. The reason I'm asking is because I knew when you called in, there's something about this passing that's unresolved for you. And you feel really bad about it, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So we have to really, and again, you don't have to share it on air, but this is an energy that I want you to try to transmute. So what I mean by transmute, it's different than transformation, but you have to know that the butterfly is one of the totems for transformation, right? So that's what that is.
Yeah.
And ginger itself is a major healing essence. So putting it all together, and I'm not going to talk to you the way Mark talks to you, because all I know is I can take the information. Ginger is for healing. It's to heal many things. Roses are for love. You following me?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And the butterfly is for transformation. And I want to say to you, it is time now for you to heal whatever that is about the passing that is holding you hostage. So when I say that, what I'm trying to say is love is never held hostage. Transformation is never held hostage. And certainly ginger, which can be used for everything from the cold to menstrual cramps to brain functioning to just tasting darn good. It's time. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. Please
Not sure about
heal
that, but
yourself. No, I am sure
okay.
about it. No, I'm absolutely sure
In,
about it.
in,
I'm a million percent sure about it.
in fact, I want to jump in and ratify what Dr. Pat's saying.
Mm-hmm.
The message of the rose and the butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at that. A rose is a symbol of his love for you, and the
Mm-hmm.
butterfly, like Dr. Pat said, is a transformational symbol. It's a transformation to a new phase in your life.
Yep.
So what Dr. Pat is saying is making so much sense with two of the messages that have come through. I'm sorry, Dr. Pat, I didn't mean to
you're right
intervene,
on.
but it was
But
like,
the third
that's
is equally
it.
important. The third about Ginger is about healing. And
Yes.
what I believe he's saying, Mark, is it is time for you to heal because he's healed. He's good. Nothing of this earth can touch him now, nor did it touch him before. Do you understand that the message he's giving is for you now to free yourself of whatever's holding on to you? It's not serving you.
I know that. It's definitely not serving me. And I'm totally in a different phase of my life. We are after an international move, and I opened a new leaf. I'm still, I'm trying. So, but
you got this. You've got this. You don't need to try. You are there. But you must.
Thank you.
I'm not even going to use this term. You all can email me later. I don't even use the term forgiveness because there ain't nothing to forgive.
Yep.
I want you to step in to your life now. There's nothing that you said or did or anything, any of that, that's mattering to him at all. He's free. It's time for you to be free and be healed, okay? That's what I want to leave you with, if that makes sense to you. Please find a ritual to do that because you deserve it. Whatever you think you are, as my friend Matt James would say, you're more than that. Please remember that, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
And I'm going to hold this for you. Thank you. Thank you, Esther. I think we keep going. I mean, that is one of the hardest things. But you know how I know this one, Mark? I've been through it.
Yeah.
I've been through it. I mean, I've been through it with my sister's passing. And I'm telling you, I beat myself up.
Yeah.
And I thought, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I mean, I did it. It is so painful to carry that.
It is. It is. And thank you for explaining that.
You're welcome. Emily, who do we go to now?
Okay, up next we have Lynn from Virginia. Lynn, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Lynn. How are you? What part of Virginia are you at? Where are you at in Virginia?
I'm in the mountains between West Virginia and the Blue Ridge Parkway.
The only reason I'm asking is because Mama Doris and Grandmama Clark from a little teeny weeny town introduced me to potbelly stove cooking and an outhouse. How can we help you tonight?
Yeah, I'm in a town called Covington, Virginia.
I know where that is. Very good.
Oh,
I also know about
beautiful.
Virginia. If you're in Virginia and you have New York plates and you're driving through Crewe, Virginia, please don't speed. You will go to jail. My dad did. How can we help you tonight?
Okay, this seems to be dead husband night. So,
well, Father's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, so we're just ahead of the curve.
Right.
Let's look at it that way.
Okay, mine's kind of weird.
Hold on. Don't hold on.
Okay.
Don't give me too much information because I was explaining to the other callers. Right. I'm an evidential medium. Let me get the spirit to come forward, get some information, and then we'll let you know. All right, hold on. Okay. All right, so the male energy that is coming through connected to you. Let me go through this before you respond. My throat is burning. So he was having, it's here I'm getting that. He was having issues breathing. He was having issues with his throat. My ears, good Lord. It feels like I'm getting earaches, but this could be some type of problem with his hearing, his adenoids, mastoids. I'm getting all that blockage in the ears. and I'm getting this blinking sensation with a very cloudy mental state. In other words, something was going on with him prior to his passing, which is affecting his mental focus and clarity. And I feel like I'm choking. All right, hold on. There's more. And poor guy, I'm getting all kinds of issues going on with his bladder and that whole area, and his lower GI tract and colon. And also feeling a sense of nausea, which can indicate difficulty eating and or holding down food prior to passing. Sometimes nausea is a cancer indicator. It doesn't always mean cancer, but it could. And God, my feet are killing me. This poor guy was really suffering physically prior to passing. Does any of this make sense to you?
He had complications of Agent Orange.
Oh, breathing. Okay. Mental focus, clarity, neurological. It affects the organs, certainly his bladder, probably had some peripheral neuropathy, which would be the feet. Okay. And now he said, I'm just fine. I'm just fine. And he keeps throwing bananas at me. He's peeling bananas and throwing banana. Most people like bananas. I mean, they're delicious and all. Bananas, though, could mean you love or hate bananas, or there could be an issue with potassium. And the other thing, he's holding up his hand and there's a bunch of ladybugs. Ladybugs are one of my triggers for people who like to garden. So it could be you or that could be him. But let's start with the bananas and we'll go to the ladybugs. Anything there?
Okay, yes, the bananas. I love bananas. He was supposed to eat bananas every day because of the potassium. So, yes, we always had lots of bananas in the house.
Okay, now what's with the gardening or the image of a ladybug?
Well, there's two things. I love to garden. I work in the yard all the time. We live in a very old house, and ladybugs find their way in. They drove me crazy.
Okay, so yeah, we got two things there. One's good, one's okay. Yeah. I'm hearing I'm in the mood for love simply because you're near me. Na, 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 na. So I'm getting kind of this corny, goofy way he's acting towards you, but God, this guy loved you. God, this guy loved you. Now I'm hearing Jim Morrison, The Doors. Don't you I love her madly when she's walking out the door. Ding, 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 ding. Wow. Okay. Oh, that would make sense. Agent Orange, Vietnam, that would be The Doors, that era. It could also be a reference to a name like Jim or James on the event. But yeah, he's giving me that. Let's see what else he wants you to know. And he said, be careful, you almost fell the other day, but you caught yourself. Be careful, you almost fell the other day, but you caught yourself. What happened?
I'm selling my house. It's a huge house. It's a 7,000 square foot house. I was up on the ladder, putting up a blind in one of the windows. And yes, there's a radiator right there. And I was standing on both of them. Yes, I almost fell, but I caught myself. Yes.
So people always say, are they around me? I'd say that's about as good an example that he's around you. And here's the other thing. The reason that you didn't fall is because of him. Now, don't test that theory again. Don't start climbing ladders thinking, oh, I won't fall because he's going to zoom in and get me. He said that was a freebie. That was a freebie. He doesn't want you on those ladders anymore. So if something needs fixing, hire a dude. Or if you have a good female, but he said, hire a dude. That's exactly how he put it. So he wants you to be careful. Now this is weird, but this is the last message before I go to Dr. Pat. I know you're in Virginia, but now I feel like I'm out west and a tumbleweed's blowing by. And he's laughing. This tumbleweed's blowing by, and I'm hearing that Eagle song, "Rolling down the road, da 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 da. I got 7 girls on my mind." All right, it's that Four Corners song. I'm trying to remember the lyrics, so I don't know if you guys were ever out at the Four Corners.
That's the Eagles.
That's the Eagles.
That's the
it's an Eagles song. Yeah. So take it easy. Oh, take it
Take it
easy. That's the name of the
easy.
song. That's
Yeah.
what he's telling you is take it easy. So, and there's tumbleweeds, whatever that's supposed to mean, unless that makes sense to you.
I know
All
what
right,
that
Dr.
means.
Pat, I'm going to give you the tumbleweeds.
Okay, I'm going to be real quick. I know we're running out of time. So this is now, it makes total sense to me. You're selling a house, correct?
Yes, I'm trying.
No, see, this is what I got to change. Ladybugs, hold on, hold on. Ladybugs are the lucky bugs. Did you know that about ladybugs? Did you know that
Oh,
ladybugs are the
yes.
symbol of luck?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. It's going to sound corny, but you got to do it. You need to be talking to the ladybugs and you need to say, I love that I'm selling my house. I am going to, it's going to go quickly. I'm going to get more than I even imagined on it. I'm looking for a future. I'm going to find my future, but I think you're a little bit unsettling because do you know where you're going to go to? Do you know where you're
I'm going to
moving?
stay right in this area. Well,
Yeah, but
I have some options. One of them is
that's,
upstate New York. I don't know if I'm going
yes.
to do that.
Okay, but you see, here's the deal with you. Did you guys play the lottery ticket when you were together? Did you all ever do a lottery?
He played the lottery. I did. I
Thank
played
you.
scratch off.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you're scratching off your lottery. It's the same deal. You both have tapped into luck energy, you see. You understand? But I want to share this with you. The ladybug is also something very different. It is something that just it's all about luck. However, it's also linked to fertility and rebirth. You follow me on this? You were in the rebirth, you're in the canal. You're in a birthing canal. Are you following me on that?
Yes.
You have options about how to give yourself a rebirth. But the bottom line is it's about rebirth and expansion for you. But you're a little afraid. Yeah.
Yes.
You're afraid. I know. I get in trouble for the acronym FEAR that I used. As a matter of fact, somebody actually posted it on YouTube, and I think they got in trouble. I have an interesting view of fear. And remember, I'm from New York, but I'm not going to say the word on air, but you'll get my message.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I do believe in God. So don't email me, y'all, about what I'm about to say. When I grew up, fear for me was F everything and run. That's the story of my life. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not going to do that. You have a new life on the horizon. Don't be afraid. If you want to go to New York, spend some time in New York. Go anywhere you want. You don't have to worry about fear because you got the ladybug. You got that?
Yes. Okay. I appreciate that. And one of the things is I have, since right before my husband died, he said he was out of it. And I know it, and I'm not saying that he did this on purpose. I'm just saying it came out of his mouth. Last thing he even spoke was, "You don't care about me."
Yep.
And then he went into a coma or morphine-induced, whatever. And then, and since that day, since he said that to me, I've been numb.
Yes. I'm telling you, you got to listen to me. I only have a few minutes left, but I got to tell you about this. No, that last, whatever that was, is an opportunity for him not to finish a thought, but that is not the message that's coming through here. You need to delete that dang button. You got that right? Are you feeling me on this?
Yes.
It's a delete button.
Yes,
and he's on drugs. He was on drugs.
Right, he was. He was on
I'm
morphine,
telling you, people that are on drugs say crazy, you know what?
I know.
Please.
And okay, and you may. I'm glad that he played that Eagles tape every single day of his life.
I'm right there with him. I'm right there with him. The other thing is, was he a Bruce Willis fan? You know, Bruce Willis, Die Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the message I got for you. Giddy up, young lady. You need to giddy up. You feel me on that?
Okay.
No more numbness.
Yes.
None of that business. Live your life. get a lot of money for this house. It's going to go easily and smoothly if you allow it to. Got that?
Okay, and there's been something telling me, and thank you, Mark, for saying they're in alignment, that to get it all done, get the yard done, get the
get it done. Get it done. But I'm telling you, don't do it all yourself. Listen to us.
Hire people to do this.
Hire people.
Well, it's kind of too late for that because I've just finished up. The only thing I got left to do is to stain the sidewalk.
Okay, go ahead and stain the sidewalk, but you got to promise us no more ladders. No more ladders.
No more ladders.
Thank you. Wow, thank you so much for tonight. You bet. Yeah, that house sale's gonna go easy. Mark, what a great show.
Great show. Everybody, I'm doing a light circle online on Friday, June 14th. Please visit my website, afterlifefrequency.com. It's limited to 6 people. Everybody gets a reading. And Dr. Pat, this was an amazing show. And for all you listeners, you are stronger than you think. Yeah. I'm Mark Anthony. I'm the psychic, and I'm here with Dr. Pat, who is the doc, and we will be back next week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.